Season 3 for Aston Villa begins today. This will be the final season of the Aston Villa save, and we have gone big in the summer transfer window. We've sold some big name players. We've brought in a big name player who, if I'm perfectly honest, he's too old, but we'll get to him in a minute. With 9 players leaving on permanent deals, the first one up is Callum Wilson. Yes, he has left the club. He's moved over to Italy and he's played 5 times for Bologna and still hasn't scored a goal for them either. We've got £4 million for him. Bargain. Luka Jovic has also left the club. We didn't really play him. He's moved over to, I assume, Saudi Arabia. Yep, it is Saudi Arabia for £8.5 million, which, to be honest, free transfer to £8.5 million, I will take that. For £10 million, we have sold Diego Carlos to Southampton. We did not play him. We just didn't play him. He's getting on. He's 32 years of age now, so we shifted him on. I'm kind of chuckling to myself because I've bought a 33-year-old, not as a centre-back, as a striker. We'll get to him. Alex Moreno has also left the club. We loaned him out last season to Freiburg. He's moved to RB Leipzig on a permanent deal. Not sure how much for. 10.25 million. Alex Krau, I think we mentioned before back in January. We've moved him on to Al Qadsiya in Saudi Arabia, I assume. It's not, is it? He has gone to Saudi Arabia for £11 million. Bargain. Emi Buendia as well has moved over to Saudi Arabia for £12.25 million. Obviously, he missed out the entire first season through injury. We then loaned him out to Fiorentina, and now we've moved him on for a permanent deal for a reasonable amount of money. He's also picking up £500,000 a week, so he's having a lovely time. And something that happened on deadline day, which I am not convinced is a good idea. For £75 million, Pau Torres has moved over to Real Madrid. He was very good for us the seasons that he's been here, but that's a lot of money, and we, as a club, aren't in a particularly good way financially. So I kind of saw that and went, you know what? We've got some players to replace him already. I've brought in a couple of centre-backs. Maybe we don't need him. Joining the club then, in no real particular order, Tommy Doyle is first up. For £1 million, the Man City youngster has joined, and we brought him in because he's English. That is pretty much it. We just need some more English players. Frustratingly, he is over 21 years of age, which means he doesn't count as homegrown. He counts as homegrown in England, but not homegrown in the club. Similarly, we have also brought in Bobby Clark from Liverpool. He's not cost a lot of money at all. £6.25 million? £625,000. That's what it is. He's come in. We want to loan him out, but if he doesn't go out on loan, he'll probably get the odd game here or there off the bench. We've also brought in Alex Valle from Barcelona on a free transfer. He was out of contract, brought him in, immediately loaned him out to Nottingham Forest, who are in the Premier League. So he's going to be getting Premier League football for a season, and then next year is realistically when he's going to come in as the backup to Mike Norrie. Someone we brought in and then immediately loaned out is Robert Wagner. We need some more central midfielders. Wagner is a decent one, and he's gone back on loan to Freiburg. 6.25 million, I think, in total. Or not, 4.3, sure. It was Benjamin Kremaski who cost £6.25 million from Inter Milan. We did try and sign this guy in January, but we obviously didn't have any transfer budget. So we couldn't. We literally had no transfer budget. We brought him in now. Obviously, he spent a season or two playing with Leo Messi. Hopefully, he's learned some things. Another young player to come in and then immediately go out on loan, which I might regret, is Leopold Querfeld, signed from SK Rapid Vienna for 13-point-something million. He's gone out on loan to Atletico Madrid. Obviously, I did this before I sold Torres. So I kind of want to bring this guy back. I don't think I can. We might be able to, but not until January by the looks of it. We do have ourselves a very good central defender in Marash Kumbula, who is formerly of Roma and Verona. We brought him in on a free transfer, the Albanian international, because he just got released. Although, frustratingly, he didn't get a work permit, but it's fine. The new ESC thing, whatever it is, means that we can play him for a year, and hopefully he plays enough games to actually get a proper work permit. We've also loaned in Sam Ameyor from Southampton, because we want some young wingers. There's no deal here to sign him on a permanent deal. He's not going to play a lot. He's been brought in because he's English and 19. He doesn't need to be registered, which is good. Somebody who we have brought in who does need to be registered is Ryan Gravenberch. He is on loan from Liverpool. No option for a permanent deal, or if there is, it's something ridiculous. 40.5 million. Maybe we might do that if he's any good. I'm not expecting him to play a huge amount of football, but he's good enough. He can come off the bench. We've also brought a new goalkeeper in Lucas Perry from, I assume, Botafogo. BOT is who they are in the game. He's cost £8.5 million. Apparently he was on loan at Crystal Palace a while ago. Never played for them. Didn't really start playing football until 2023. He's 27. What was he doing? What was he doing up until 2023? And the big one is Son Heung-min. He's just turned 33. We've brought him from Spurs. We're going to play him as a striker. He's cost £30 million. Is it too much money? It sure is too much money, but he is still very, very good at football, and I'm hoping, because we're only going to do one more year, it doesn't matter that he's 33 years old. Now, because we've obviously done a whole load of transfers, players leaving and joining the club, there have been some loan deals as well. Some of them are very, very important and worth talking about. Emiliano Martinez, for example, going out on loan to Porto. This is why we brought in Perry. I've decided Martinez is done. I don't want Martinez. He's not been particularly great for us over the last couple of seasons. We ended up playing, I've already forgotten his name, we're at Castiles instead of Martinez, and I'm kind of happy that he's moved on. We've also loaned out Scott McTominay to Stuttgart, Coutinho to Sao Paulo, maybe? Could be Sao Paulo. Rory Wilson to Burnley. He's ridiculous. He's getting really, really good. I kind of wanted to keep him. Tim to Hull, again, another player I wanted to keep. We've also loaned out Kerr Smith to MK Dons, a player that I was considering keeping as well on loan. Kellyman's also gone to Burnley, so we've got Wilson and Kellyman playing for Burnley. If they play two up front, that could be absolute filth. Josh Feeney's another decent youngster going out on loan to Preston. We've got Ratnick to Luton, who are now a feeder club of ours. Duran to Millwall. Rosiak's gone to Doncaster along with Nowusu. Lasava has gone to Cardiff. Katongo to Fleetwood. And a man called Ewan Simpson's gone to Wickham. And we've done a fair amount of transfer business, I think you'll find. But we've actually made a bit of money. We've made some profit. We've got £75 million in the bank still to spend if we would like to spend it. The transfer window has literally just closed. It is 11 o'clock on the 1st of September, which is when it closed. And since the start of the season, we've been awful. We've not been awful. We've just had some difficult games, okay? We've lost against Liverpool. We've lost against Chelsea. We've beaten Everton. We now have to play Spurs, which could mean Son Heung-min plays against Spurs and scores against them. And that is going to happen in this episode, although we've got to wait 12 days. Right then, our first game of the season on camera, and it will be a start for Son Heung-min up front against his former team. It's going to be Perry in goal, Goldson, Boyomo, Mings, and Luca Dean in defence, Luis Kamara, Sanket in midfield, Diaby, Ramsey, and Son leading the line. If Son scores, I'm going to be very happy. I do need him to score more goals than Callum Wilson did, though, because he's cost £6 million more, and he's just as old as him as well. So as I mentioned earlier, we have not started the season particularly well because we've had two very, very difficult games to play, but I'm hoping we can kind of do something here. Obviously, Spurs are still pretty good. They are currently just below us in the table. We are the Friday night kickoff, I imagine. So a win here will potentially put us onto 6 points, which could put us as high as 6th if we win like 8-0, which we're not going to. Well, 20 minutes played, we are not going to win at all if nothing actually happens. We're going to push the positive, see if we can get any highlights. Tyrone Mings with the ball, plays it backwards to Boyomo. Where are you going to go, fella? Across to Tyrone Mings. Down the bottom, please, is where we want to go. Mings goes for a slow wander. I was considering selling Mings in the summer if a bid came in. Nobody wanted him. Ramsey, he's going to go for a little run. Number 41, Son Heung-min against his former team. Douglas Luiz's pass is not the best. Madison's nicked it off him. Kulusevski, though, loses out. Kamara to Diaby. Son, with his pace, tries to go for a run, but Mickey van der Ven can nick the ball off Diaby and go for a little run forward himself. Kulusevski collects it. Back to Bentancur. Over the top, Mings gets that head. Anthony Gordon, wearing a Spurs shirt, tries to cross the ball in, but walks straight into Connor Goldson. Kamara on the ground to nobody. What is going on with these passing? Both of the teams' passing is not very good. Or possession for Spurs, I guess. Long-range effort. Oh my word, what a finish that is from Pavlidis. It's 1-0 to Spurs. Lucas Perry, so far, has not really proved to be a good goalkeeper. I've got a feeling that Pavlidis is the replacement for Son, because that was his debut and he obviously just scored on it. So, yeah, maybe they got rid of Son because they didn't want him, not because he was getting old or something along those lines. Kepa playing for Spurs. Bentancur with the ball. Diaby's not going to quite get there first. Mickey van der Ven goes for a run down the line to Anthony Gordon. I feel like we are going to get absolutely spanked here. Basuma's effort is blocked by Mings. Didn't look like it was blocked. Looked like it was a shot from a 10-year-old. Kulusevski has gone over to take the corner. That is a difficult name to say. Crosses it in towards Pavlidis at the back post. He heads over the bar. Still 1-0 to Spurs. Spurs are looking very, very good, which is a concern. The good news after this, we do have Nottingham Forest, who are bottom of the table already. 3 games played, 0 points on the board. So if we lose against Spurs, we do have the opportunity to kind of bounce back against Forest later on in this episode, which is a match that we definitely should be able to win. We've got to be better in front of goal, and by better, have shots would be nice. Oh, absolutely magical. Are you joking? A foot injury for Son. We've got Jurassi on the bench. We've got Amoa Mayor on the bench as well. Jurassi shouldn't really be playing, but Amoa Mayor is not a striker. He's a winger. The fact that we've spent £30 million on a 33-year-old Son Heung-min, who now might be injured for a prolonged amount of time, is potentially frustrating. Ramsey's playing poorly. Amoa Mayor is going to come on that right-hand side. I say right-hand side, left-hand side. Do we want to do that? And who's better? I mean, Amoa Mayor can play on either. That's fine. We'll do both of those. Kamara can come off as well. Kremashki can come on for sure. You can sit there. Have we got any more subs? I feel like we should keep that last one just in case we get an injury to somebody like Lucas Perry. Whilst it's still 1-0, we're still definitely not out of this game, but we're just not getting the shots at all. Into the final 10 minutes, not a single highlight. This has been such a dull game. The biggest talking point is the fact that Pavlidis has scored and Son Heung-min's picked up an injury. Jurassi's on a 6.4, so he's doing just as bad as what Son was doing. The full-time whistle goes, no real highlights to talk about. A 1-0 defeat. I'm disappointed. That was not very good. I don't want that to be a bad injury. I mean, who does, to be fair, but still. That was... Becky Fenton, that was really poor. Son suffers injury, what is it, 2 weeks? You're out for 2 weeks already. We don't really have any strikers. Because of the transfers we did over the summer, our striking options are literally Jurassi and Son. Diaby, Amoa Mayor, maybe could play up front. Alcaraz, but he's not registered for at least the Champions League. I mean, I'm not good at transfers, am I? I might have balls this up. Anyway, we're going to go forward. We're going to play the Porto game off camera. So the Champions League will go over in just a second. We'll come back for the Nottingham Forest game, which I want to be able to win something on camera, basically, in episode 1 of the season. Champions League, we have Porto, a winnable game. We have Genk, a winnable game. We have Dinamo, a winnable game. We have Inter Milan, not so sure about that one. Slavia Prague is definitely winnable. Monaco, not so sure about that one either. And then Benfica, winnable. Man City, I don't know why we're playing them, to be honest. So I think we're in for a good chance of maybe finishing top 16 is my kind of guess. That's where I want to be finishing. I don't think we're going to finish in the top 8, but we can win quite a lot of those games that we've got. We are going to be playing against Emiliano Martinez's Porto, and I'm pretty sure he's registered as well to play against us. So yeah, we'll be back for the Forest game, and I might be swearing a little bit because... yeah, if Martinez plays and plays well, not going to be happy. Right then, match number 2 of the season. We've just beaten Porto 6-5. Yes, it's a thing. It happened. I don't really know what went on, but we did manage to pick up the 3 points and still concede 5 goals. Doesn't really matter, does it? For the Forest game then, it is going to be Perry in goal, Goldson, Kumbala, Mings and Luke Dean in defence. We're going to see Kumbala on camera today. Douglas Luiz, Kamara and Sanket in midfield. Diaby, Ramsey and Jurassi leading the line for this one. We still don't quite have Son Heung-min back. He's going to be back in about 6 days, which is kind of annoying, really. So our season hasn't really kicked off as well as I'd hoped, but we have played 3 very good sides so far. Forest are probably the worst team to play us in the first 5 games of the season. We've also beaten Everton as well, who aren't very good, but they're probably better than Forest. Tyrone Mings goes for a long-range effort. Kamara to Goldson. Douglas Luiz onside finds Ramsey. And Odyssey's Vlachimodos, or whatever his name is, makes a very good save as a very loud motorbike goes past my house. Well, we are starting off well. Lots of possession, lots of shots, but nothing's really going on. Matty Cash playing for Nottingham Forest. He did get released, or he only had a 1-year contract over in Saudi Arabia. I was tempted to bring him back, and then he wanted £300,000 a week, and I thought, yep, that's definitely not happening. Diaby collects this ball, goes for a run towards goal, tries to find some space for himself, and instead just passes it to a Forest player. What was that all about? They're coming for a run. Jacob Ramsey can nick the ball, though. He's going to go for a little wander in towards the middle of the pitch. Number 41 for some reason. Kamara to Diaby. Goes away from goal once again. Douglas Luiz collects it. Now Sanket to Jurassi. Sanket's carried on his run. Ramsey plays it on the ground to Jurassi. He has to score. He does score. His 4th goal of the season. We take the lead against Nottingham Forest. And maybe we didn't need to buy Son Heung-min. Jacob Ramsey, by the way, is a 4.5-star left winger for us. And I don't really know where it's come from. He's just absolutely insane. We did have some interest in the summer for Ramsey, but I was just not letting him go. He's actually just signed a new contract, along with, I think, Diaby and Douglas Luiz have both signed new deals. Speaking of, Douglas Luiz finds Ramsey. Luca Dean's got acres of space. Diaby's control is not the best. Kamara chest down to Douglas Luiz. Luca Dean on that left-hand side. Plenty of options in the middle if he can get his cross away. Ramsey on the ground to Diaby. Blasts it into the back of the net. It's 2-0, half an hour played, and this is looking like a pretty good performance so far. One more goal, and we are going to zero out our goal difference, which wasn't looking particularly hot, particularly after the Chelsea game that we played, where we lost, I think, 4-2. Goldson with the throw to Kamara. Back to Goldson. Girassi just gets kicked, but it's fallen to Diaby. He's hit the post. Ramsey's effort is blocked. That could have been the third before half-time. Instead, it stays 2-0, but we are just looking good, aren't we? We are looking very, very good. I'm happy with how things are going. Everyone seems chuffed, which is good. The fact, literally it said about Kamara, he looked chuffed. I don't think Kamara even knows the understanding of that word. Not many people do. It's to Kumbulla. He's not managed to get there. Luca Dean's going to collect instead. Back to the Albanian. Girassi away from goal. Connor Goldson to Douglas Luiz on that left-hand side. Cuts past a couple of players. Sankara is giving him a little kick. Maybe pulled his shirt. It is going to be a penalty, which I assume is going to be Douglas Luiz to take it. Penalty is awarded. There we go. And it is going to be Douglas Luiz, the man who earned the penalty as well. Stepping up then. We are 2 minutes into the second half. Can we make it 3-0? We can. Dougie Luiz. And we are looking very comfortable. His third goal of the season from defensive midfield. Right, I want to get a couple more goals, okay? I think a 3-0 win's nice on paper, but we're playing so well, we can get a couple more goals here. Unless Forest can get a goal themselves, which I'd love it if Perry kept a clean sheet, to be honest. He's not going to, because he's... How? How do I do that? How do I do that every time? I say, I want to make sure that we keep a clean sheet. Concede a goal instantly. It's 3-1. I don't know why Perry is so bad at football at the moment. I'm wondering whether he can't speak the language. Possibly that's it. Sanket with the ball. I was considering doing some subs, but we're going to see what this highlight brings first. Kamara on the ground to Felipe, apparently. Now Forest can possibly counter-attack. Ball off to the left-hand side for Callum Hudson-Odoi. In the middle to Danilo. Over the top to Correa. Perry's going to concede another one. Perry's awful. Perry is absolutely awful. It's 3-2. They're saying it's Kumbulla's mistake. I don't see how that's Kumbulla's mistake. It's straight at the goalkeeper. Connor Goldson with a throw. I still wanted to do the subs and haven't done anything yet. Kamara spins and finds some space for himself. His pass isn't the best, and now Forest can counter-attack. Once again, right-hand side is Prestiani. Goes for a little run. Luca Dean's keeping up with him every single step of the way, though. Plays it back to Andrew Omabadiele. Could be his name. I know it's something along those lines. He's going to go for a little run again. The former Norwich player. Felipe. Right-hand side is Matty Cash. He'd love to score against me because he must hate me. Matty Cash goes for a little wander down the line. Crosses in. Hudson-Odoi's there. Connor Goldson clears it. Diaby's not going to get there just yet. Ball forward. Crosses in. Correa's scored. He's offside. And by he, Prestiani is offside. If he's not offside, I'm going to be furious. Because we were 3-0 up, guys. We were 3-0 up and we've thrown this away. What have we done? We've not even done badly. They've just had 3 shots. Perry's just awful at football. I can't believe we shipped out old Martinez because I thought, you know what, Lucas Perry looks pretty decent. Let's bring him in. He was wanted by, I think Man United wanted Perry. So it's like, he must be a good goalkeeper. And he's absolute garbage, isn't he? I feel like Forest are going to score here. Sanket's nicked the ball. Hold on, here we go. Counter-attack time. We need to win this game. A draw is not good enough. At home, Gerassi's been kicked by Aina. I think that was outside the box. Girassi has also gone down like he's been shot. I'm hoping that's not an injury because we can't afford another injury to a striker. It's not a penalty. Girassi, you better not be injured, you clown. I think he's actually injured. It's going to be a free kick. It's going to be Douglas Luiz going over to take it. Gerassi's up. Okay, he's maybe fine. Possibly. Don't know. Are we going to get something from this? Come on, Dougie. Dougie Luiz, stick it on the ground, to be honest. You got a couple of options literally just right in front of you on that left-hand side. Just on the ground. What's happening, guys? Douglas Luiz eventually takes the free kick towards Tyrone Mings. It is up into the air, gone off for a corner. We've still obviously not done our subs yet. Luca Dean's the man to take the corner. Number 23's lurking. Kumbulla is the number 23 towards Kamara. Doesn't quite get there. Kumbulla's given him a push in the back. It's a free kick. What a clown. Right, he's not done well, has he? Boyomo's going to come on. We're also going to do Kamara off for Gravenberch. Sure, you can be the box-to-box midfielder. What else do we want to do here? I mean, Ramsey's playing well, but he's not really done anything. He's on an 8.7, but what's he got to show for it? We're going to do Rooney for Diaby, I think, is what we're going to do. We've still got 15 minutes. There is another goal in this game. There is another goal in this game. We're going to push to positive. The fact that we've conceded 3 goals and they don't even have 1 XG is infuriating. It's 6 minutes of injury time. Corner for Forest. What has happened? What has actually happened? Not only have we lost this game, we've not even deserved to concede a goal and we've let in 4. I genuinely... I mean, this is the definition of being FM'd, right? This is being FM'd? Nottingham Forest are the greatest football team in the world. Right, Lucas, you better be a good goalkeeper, mate, because I'm chucking something at you. Your mistakes, plural, appear to lack belief. You're damn right you lack belief. You were not very good at football, mate. We would have been better off playing Connor Goldson in goal. He does have 3 rating in goal. We are 14th in the table after 5 league games. 14th. You want to discuss club matters? Yes, mate. You know what? No, I understand, but do your job, and I won't throw things at you. Now I'm going to warn him. I can't give him a fine because he's not been at the club long enough. Last game, horrendous. Beckon in. Come on, lad. Your goalkeeping was not good enough. You made too many mistakes. You're very happy. I mean, you're not going to play the next game, which is against Chelsea in the Cup. Okay, maybe you are going to play that one because I don't care if we get knocked out. We've got Stoke in the league next. It's not a good start to the season, is it? It's really not a good start. Right, I'm desperately looking at the league table to try and see if there are any positives. We only concede 8 goals in 4 games. That's a lot, isn't it? We've scored 7 in 4 games. We do have a game. That's not even us. Oh, that's Leeds. We've conceded 12 in 5, but scored 8. So we're scoring. Feel like this season's not started off too well.